We need to talk about the slow, relentless drip, drip, drip of resignations and embarrassments engulfing Reform UK in local government and in national government. If you want a single metaphor for it, think of the debilitating incontinence of Nigel Farage's party, which in May was so triumphant it could scarcely button its trousers, and now it's leaving damp patches on the council chamber carpet. Just 2 months ago, Reform UK was crowing about its remarkable surge in local elections. In Warwickshire, they took control of the council, my own local county council, which has already been useless. Now it's going to be even more useless. In Doncaster, they won enough seats to claim a majority group. The narrative was one of insurgent professionalism, a grown-up populism that could finally deliver. And the problem is, now that grown-up is looking a little like a toddler left in charge of the shop, smearing chocolate on the till and crying for mummy. Because, consider Doncaster first. Samuel Booth, newly elected in Bentley Ward, has resigned for personal reasons. It'd be charitable to treat that at face value, but we're forced to note that this is Reform's second local resignation in Doncaster since May. Their group has fallen from 37 councillors to 35 in less than 2 months. It's not just the number, it's the effect. Each resignation chips away at the authority they claimed on election night. When the turquoise rosettes were out in force, the cheers were loud, the rhetoric bellicose, and now they face by-elections that could erase their majority entirely. Meanwhile, in Warwickshire, as I pointed out the other day, the situation borders on tragicomedy. Rob Howard, the freshly minted Reform leader of the county council, resigned after just 41 days, citing health reasons. And no one should mock personal health issues. But let's note the reality of that leadership. This was a man who, in his 6 weeks' tenure, managed to miss the very first full council meeting so he could sun himself in the Dominican Republic. He also memorably admitted his administration had no actual policies, and local Labour MPs were quick to pounce, warning the council is rudderless at precisely the time it should deal with potholed roads, underfunded care services, and a send crisis. The result, an 18-year-old deputy, George Finch, photogenic but now caretaker leader, trying to present a calm face as they scramble to elect a new head, and he finishes up his A-levels. He insists the mission remains unchanged, which is a bold claim, when no one can quite define what the mission is beyond Brexit sovereignty and a strong and united family unit. It's all very well to run as the anti-establishment wrecking ball, but the moment you hold the keys to the council chamber, you have to pay for bin collections and special needs provision. The slogans look thin when matched to budgets. And nor are the problems confined to local councils. In Westminster, James McMurdoch, once hailed as Reform's rising star MP for South Basildon and East Thurrock, has resigned the party whip entirely over allegations about the misuse of government COVID loans. He's now an independent. Reform had 5 MPs after last July's general election, but they've already lost 2, Rupert Rob Arthur Lowe, and now McMurdoch. Each time the party leadership has tried to pretend nothing is wrong, Nigel Farage has characteristically blamed others or kept silent. Ellie Reeves, Labour's chair, waspishly observed that Farage has sat on his hands over these allegations, or maybe his hands are in his pockets. After all, Nigel Farage is old enough to remember Bertolucci's film 1900. That criticism bites because it speaks to the wider question: is Reform UK a serious party, or is it just a personal vehicle for Nigel Farage's permanent campaign? Fingers twitching. The signs of amateurism abound. Councillors resigning without notice, council leaders vanishing after one meeting, MPs caught up in loan scandals, and all the while the party's official line remains some combination of personal reasons, health issues, we're not distracted, I'm not shallow. It is frankly not credible. The lesson is straightforward. Populist parties often mistake noise for depth. It's easy to win votes by railing against ULEZ charges, woke policies, Westminster's alleged betrayal. It's quite another to run a local authority with a £500 million budget or deliver basic services to real people. Reform UK campaigned in May on a promise to clear potholes, fix local crime, restore trust. Within 2 months, they cannot even keep their councillors in post, let alone maintain a stable administration. And what of Nigel Farage? His silence is telling. He loves the fight for the national stage, Europe, immigration, grandstanding on GB News, but shows no interest in the dull bureaucratic work of local government. And isn't that familiar? I seem to recall Farage saying something like that to me. And yet it's precisely there in local government where we see a party that can or cannot deliver. Reform UK cannot deliver because it's all words and no trousers. So yes, Reform UK took councils by storm in May. But the storm has passed. The slow drip of resignations, embarrassments and internal chaos is a far more damaging force, and voters will notice. And for those who want a clear alternative to Labour or to the Conservatives, this ought to be the moment of genuine worry. Reform UK offers fury without governance, complaint without competence, and they're discovering at painful cost that slogans don't fill potholes, balance budgets, or run councils. As it stands, the children really have been left minding the store. I have a lot of faith in children. I have a lot of faith in 18-year-olds who are given the keys to the house. But I wonder, where did the adults go? Where did the adults go? Because there weren't any in the first place. There weren't any adults, and there aren't any adults in Reform UK. So, they're dropping the... We just have to hope they don't drop the till keys down the drain, but or have a wild night. They can look down the road at Mike Amesbury as a warning about that. But if they keep their work schedule up to date, if they put a decent timetable on the walls, and they complete their tasks, I see no reason why a well-principled and focused 18-year-old with a little bit of help can't do a job well. But I worry about who's going to be resigning next in Reform UK, because it just seems a trickle down the trouser leg.